Yeah,
Oh, hello. Welcome all to the Pup and Pulse Variety Hour, week three. I am the man after midnight, Dead Pulse. Joining me, of course, the one and only Gregory Puff. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty awesome. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm just fabulous. We have a great VOD to do. It is the first Duckling review that we're doing from a gentleman named Bryce. Now, since I played one AP Archipelago with him, and chatted just for a little bit, which means we're essentially best friends. I will also say a little background. He told me that he had played Final Fantasy Randomizer, way back in the day when he was 8, 9 years old. So he has a little bit of knowledge over someone who's just picking up the randomizer. Basically, he knows most of the chest locations, all the maps where you need to go. So I'm really excited to kind of watch through this. I think it does give someone an advantage if they can come in with that knowledge. But it's not something that anyone can, it's not like a clear cut advantage once you are here for a month or 2 months and everyone gets that knowledge.
You said Bryce has been playing Final Fantasy Randomizer, the randomizer,
No,
since he
the
was
the
that young.
original, the vanilla
Oh,
game.
okay. Sorry, I
Yeah,
was I was
back
really
20
confused. I'm
years.
like, yeah, I was like, how old is this Bryce character? He's like 12 years old. All right, cool. Let's do this.
Oh
All right,
my.
time traveler over here. Yeah, don't we all wish we were 12 again? No, no, wait, sorry, not 12. That's middle school. Let's go a little bit later. Anyway,
It's
I,
it's never too early to get them hooked. I mean that's
yeah,
so. Let's talk about current events that are going on. So we just announced that there's going to be a platypus tournament, the Platy Party, which is happening during weeks 4 through 6 of the Duckling Boot Camp reveals on Sunday. I think this is going to be great. What are your thoughts?
yeah, I'm super excited. Um, it's always good to just kind of do like a random thing, just a thing like, hey, get out there, play the thing, play Final Fantasy Randomizer, just have a good time, and we'll see how it goes. The thing that I like the most about it is that pretty much you're going in blind. I mean, yeah, the flags are out there, but most people so far that I've seen aren't interested in looking at the spoiler flags. They are want to be surprised leading up to the races. So it's pretty much open to everybody that hasn't won a singles championship, which is like
Literally
I'm.
everybody.
I was gonna say, I'm shockingly one of those people, and so are you. So there aren't.
I
So
mean, the randomizer
anybody else?
hasn't been around for that long, so there can't be that many champions, right?
Mhm. Yeah, well, Crab Cakes is a twice champion. So does that negate her championships? Does she
I think it
still?
does.
Yeah. And Lord Fizzlebeef, always a bridesmaid, always coming in second place. Poor, poor Fizzle.
Listen,
But
yeah,
he's gonna.
that was embarrassing when you
Yeah.
lost to me. I wouldn't want to lose
Uh,
to me.
yeah, I mean, he's just trying to grind battles in the river system near Onrek, so it's fine.
My favorite part in the Duck Derby, not only taking on the great Lord Fizzlebeef, that was an exciting best 2 out of 3 for me. But the realization that I had taken on Gregory Puff, that would be you, twice before in a singles match and lost both times. One of them for the Iron Goal title. I had just never beaten you, and so I was hoping that I wouldn't have to get you. And lo and behold, Fryteeth gets you in the semifinals and manages to snag a win.
Yep, yep. And then Fizzle watches me loot plate myself during our battle, and that was exciting. So I got my win against Frankie. That's
These tournaments they're just a hoot. Anything can really happen, and quite honestly, it gives the community a chance to just have a little outreach, just kind of be out there talking about the runners, talking about the game that we love to play. It's just the same thing with like the Duck Derby. This is such a community event. Like everybody gets involved. There's going to be multiple broadcasts of the Derby once it's going on. We're working on getting not only the broadcast for the boot camp for the platypus or the platy party as I'm calling it, but probably a biggie stream of it so that we can get a majority of runners on restream every week. And then, of course, we'll be giving updates on Wednesdays. One other thing that I wanted to bring up quick was there is talk of having a I believe it's called the Platimus Prime be the prize for the winner of the tournament. But I wanted to make an announcement that I'm also going to be giving a nickname to someone who runs in the tournament. Basically, every time that you are participating in the tournament, you get a little slot on the wheel, and on the sixth week, the last week of the Puff and Pulse Variety Hour, we're going to be spinning that wheel, and whoever it lands on is going to get a custom nickname by yours truly, pretty much whether they like it or not. That's a lie. If they decline it, that's entirely fine. But one of the things that Greg and I talk about, like, because our love of wrestling is real. You know you've made it when you get a nickname, but you can't give yourself that nickname. That seems a little weird. So I'm
Yeah.
taking the liberty of dishing it out for you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that
Big
also
fan of
makes broadcasting exciting because when you can, like, I love announcing for Lord Fizzlebeef because I always call him, your Legion mine, and Lorfin Borfin. I always work in time for learn in there. Just that's how you know you've made it big.
Yep, his lordship. Yeah. Yep.
But that's just me. So, anyways, one last. I know I'm saying this a lot, but one last thing. In the first week, Jet and I were talking about hair care, and I forgot to bring this up last week because we had a lot to do with the twofer. I just want to know what kind of beard care do you do that you think would be helpful to those of us who wish to grow such a regal looking beard?
So first things first, if you're gonna grow a beard, you let the thing grow, right? You got to take the sides down. So when I say take the sides down, you buy trimmers and you shave down the sides of your face, but don't all the way down. Like just kind of make an imaginary line. So you take the sides kind of near where your sideburns would be, but then make sure you don't take the whole beard off. So you just kind of like go down, but not against your face, just straight down, right? That's the first thing you do. And then once it starts getting like kind of big, right? Just kind of trim it up using scissors, make it look nice. Don't shave underneath. I know a lot of people always say, "Oh, you got to trim under." No, don't do that. That's just gonna make it like look thin and gross and whatever. Just let it all grow. Just let it do its thing. Secondly, as far as care is concerned, shampoo, conditioner. That's what you gotta do, right? Beard oil. It always works great. And then, if you're feeling super froggy, feel free to, blow dry it using brush and blow dryer. Just like, yeah, if you have a lady out there, they'll probably have all that stuff for you. They can show you how to use.
Beard
But that's
oil,
it.
it really does work. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, beard oil is where it's at for sure. But that's how it'll make it look luscious and beautiful and everything you want to see in beards.
I really do think beards win tournaments. So if you don't have a beard or have the ability to grow a beard, you can just buy one of those Santa beards right now. They're everywhere. Just throw that
Yeah,
on right before a race, and I'll bet you anything. And this is a scientific thing. You'll take 10% off your race time.
easily. I used to be like a 2 hour knock. Like I remember the first time I got a sub 2 hour, and I was like, "Oh man, this is great." The second my beard like kind of took over things, easily hour 30 and less every time.
Yeah, that's that is 100% scientific. You heard it here first. Um, so, one more thing. I'm hoping to have a special guest on next week. I haven't asked this person actually yet, but I don't think they're going to say no to me. So that's going to be a surprise. We're going to keep that on the hush hush.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's get going on this VOD review of the one and only Bryce. So I'm going to switch this over. Greg, if you want to take us through kind of the flags that we are going with.
Yeah, for sure. So the flags that we're gonna actually use today are the flags from week one. So they are pretty much like the most beginner set flags you can imagine. We'll kind of start from the top, and I'm just gonna briefly, and by briefly I mean I'm flying through this. We got a short topher, We got theme tiles. We got a Topher exit, right? We got standard scaling as far as gold is concerned. Enemies slightly squishy. Bosses also slightly squishy. Encounter rate, half that mother. So we got 4 encounters for every 256 steps. Same thing with dungeons. So basically, just half as many encounters as normal. A good experience. You know, pretty standard progressive scaling. We have no loose items. We got Masa and Ribbon in the pool. Sea Shrine, Sky, Canaria Locked, Earth, Marsh Ordeals, and Ice are things. We have early open progression, and the Rayukan Desert is turned on. We have the Gaia Shortcut. Gaia Item Shop is moved. Lefanish Hospitality is turned on. We have an earlier Ruby, free bridge. What else do we have going on? It is maddening, all the things that we have going on. Nothing too crazy outside of the normal. Full party stuff, and half BB crit rate is turned off. Um, Better Thief and Ninja Agility is turned up to 80, and that's pretty much it. Weapon Elemental slash damage type bonus is turned up to 30. Faster boat, chest information's turned on, thief lockpicking at level 10, and no blurstings, whether class or gear. So that is what we have going on.
Oh, I love it. And so let's talk about this party. First of all, I can definitely see this is a viable party going in. You've got the thief. You do have lock picking. You have the extra thief agility. The black belt is meant to be your carry, or I guess backup carry, because you're going to have the mass immune. And then of course red mage and black mage for speed and power. Overall, I like it. I think that with this flag set, the black belt grinding the black belt might take a little bit too long comparatively because you can go into short Topher with your fighter party at level 20 and probably be fine. That would be my only concern is that going up to 32 on that black belt, you're going to spend a little time.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of have to agree too. Yeah, black belt can be like, black belt to me has always been like your safety, and it's more of a safety thing in long Topher because back in the day, you would have your opponents would be more, they would take a lot more chances in a long Topher. And if one boss rolled up or one boss did something silly, then that black belt could kind of, make up the ground if they took a wipe in a long Topher, like a Kraken 2 or a Tia 2.
Mm-hmm.
Here with a short Topher, you're not going to really make up that kind of time. You can find out very quickly what you need to deal with in that short Topher and then adjust accordingly with a fighter or a thief lead or something like that. So while the black belt is a guaranteed win, I like the thief here because of the agility and the thief lock picking. With the free massa and the ribbon, I might have switched the black belt out for a fighter, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just kind of hanging out.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna do this, of course, at 2x speed. Now I'm gonna warn the audience. I have watched this because Bryce was nice enough to do some commentary on there. And yes, I will bring up that I love the Bapchuk drink straight out of Lord Fizzlebeef's Time for Learn. That immediately said to me that this guy's one of us. So
Mhm.
let's get this started. So we're gonna see the timer. Hopefully I can get this going. There we go. The timer is there. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at is so we get cake in there. That's a decent enough spell to have. And unfortunately, Invis 2 is not learnable. Oh, we got stuck behind Canaria guy.
Well, and
I
Canaria Lady got in the
yeah.
way.
I also like the chain armor pickup, but stopping at the weapon shop, I could have done without that. I don't think there's anything that I'm going to buy that's going to be worth it. So
Yeah, I
we're
mean,
out of Canaria at 110. Go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, you already have like a spell that you can kill Garland with. If you have absolutely nothing, then absolutely going ahead and check out the weapon shop. But yeah, there's really no reason to hit that up when you have cake. Clearing this, how do you feel about clearing this with
If I was
the
taking a fighter party, I would, but black belt parties need to make up time somewhere, and that's checking chests. And honestly, this takes about 30 to 35 seconds to check those 3 chests. Um, I can understand why you'd want to do it for the gold, and there are definitely some flag sets, specifically the SG Live, that it was important to check those chests for early gold. But everything's relatively cheap enough. I only need to buy magic for 2 people. Uh, Once I fight the pirates, that's going to give me 1,600 gold, so I'm not checking them.
Okay. I have to say, I like, I sort of like what I just saw. I like the idea of saving after the bridge boss, but I don't like saving. I don't like not saving beforehand, especially after killing a boss. You're like, you just killed a boss, you just got 2 key items. I mean, you could easily have taken an encounter on like imps that could have, wiped you out with fire too, and then you would have had to, go through that whole thing again. But
Yeah,
going into Matoya's cave, while I personally wouldn't have done it, ended up working out really well because you got like huge money out of there.
yeah. Let's see what magic brings. Oh, Cure 4, Wall, Exfer,
Yep. Oof.
and
And
Fire
at least the
2.
fire
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
You know,
So I
we're
like,
fine. We're fine.
yeah, we're fine. Fire twos. Yeah, I'll get you through Marsh Cave, I suppose. Let's see here. Oof, poor Black Belt already going down. All right, so different to what I said in Fizzle's thing, I do like checking the magic before going to the pirates here because you actually have the money to buy whatever things you want
Yeah.
from the magic shop as opposed to uh, you know, not having the money for it. So I like going and checking level 2 there when you have money, and then going and fighting the pirates, and then checking the rest of it, and then going on ahead and getting out of there.
Now, interestingly enough, that's a fight that I take. Because I specifically want to get that red mage up to level 6 so I can cast level 3 magic. And that's a decent pile of gold with those Kaizakus. So I would definitely have taken it.
All
And
right,
here's,
so
go ahead.
I was probably the same thing you were about to talk about. So because you still have the red mage out there and you still haven't seen Fade yet, I always like to make sure that I look for Fade for the red mage to make sure that it's in my first slot so that I have to menu around to it. Because now it looks like we have Quad X and I didn't see the other spell, but now we're kind of menuing to use Fade.
Yeah, and we're locked out of life because we picked up 2 spells in black magic, but that happens, and I understand. Honestly, at that point, if I was in that situation, I would have absolutely reset
Yeah.
and just taken, because you're going to make up so much more time by having fade in the first slot and having life than you would just going for it. Um,
Yeah.
this chest, I don't like checking because it is a linked chest to the double chest that's above the incentive. So if I ever
And
check chests in here, I check the second row, first column, single chest. Then I check the second row, second column, double chest. Then I go down and check the incentive.
yeah. All right.
Lord
So
Philippeep, that's very true.
missing the door there. This just would have saved you a step. Missing hugging the wall again would have saved you a couple steps there. Another couple steps there. Not huge deals, just something we want to point out
Mhm.
that you'll notice like vet runners definitely do. And then yeah, the link chest, that's kind of a big deal. Like don't check that top left room. You can check the if you're doing if you're doing grid, we'll call it B2. That's the that's the room you want to check because
Yeah.
it's the same. It's the same chest, and then there's another chest in there, and then you're already on the way to the river, the wizards, and yeah, we got a canoe. We don't have a canal, which means we've got to what? We got to check ice cave. We still got the
Yeah, we have Ice Cave and we have Crescent Lake still available. I can definitely
we
see
still
coming back for these silver bracelets. They're pretty nice. I would have liked to seen you buy 2 of them basically when you were here.
Mhm. I would like to have seen you not even take this battle.
Well, it's
So
unrunnable.
Well, no, what I mean is like reset out of it. Like the second you see scorpions that are unrunnable, just go on ahead and not even bother
Yeah,
with it. Especially with the low encounter rate, there's like no reason to take like a dumb overworld encounter like that.
yeah. And also, I would have parked at the river entrance that's right by Elfland. That
Yeah.
saves you a couple of steps, and then you don't have to deal with it.
Yep. So we know we have a chime here. It's very expensive. We know that we have ice cave, right? And then at
Mhm.
this point, we're either looking for a canal or we're just looking straight up for the floater, correct?
Correct. Yeah. The reason that I do that is because we do have uh, the canoe, so we're only looking for one more item. And if all right, so we get the ruby, so that's useless until we get the canal, which means that we know the ice cave is going to lead to the canal.
So at this
But
point, we need money for the chime, which the chime doesn't do anything, which means we got to go to Ice Cave. And then we got the Black Belt party, so we may as well grind some eyes, right?
yeah, that would be what I'm thinking. The problem that I see is right now the black belt is level 2 because it didn't get experience from the pirate fight. So I would have thought about taking maybe one battle, maybe two battles outside of Crescent Lake, just to see if I can get that black belt a little more experience. Those eyes are probably going to die to 2 hits once that black belt is level 10.
Yeah. So I'm looking at. So it looks like
Uh,
we got the level 5. We're just kind of moving around.
yeah.
All right. Looks like we are making the play for Ice Cave, knowing that either the canal or the floater is here. Well, it's got to be the canal because canal can't spawn outside of the inner sea.
Yeah. Well, it could be the key that leads to the canal, like I
Canal.
suppose, or
Right. So good thing about low encounter rate is it makes Ice Cave a little bit less scary. You're seeing half as many encounters. Um, I don't like checking that box. That's just more steps
yeah.
towards potentially hitting an encounter when really the only thing we want to do right now is get to that eye and see what it's all about.
Oh yeah, and yeah. So I guess which battles to take? Ghost Pirate brings up a decent point. Like I love taking Caribbees if I'm below like level 10 or something. I think does on the resources site doesn't Thunder have a like these are the fights that you should take below X levels?
Yeah, it's something like that. Okay,
You
so
go
all right, here we go.
ahead.
Let's no, nothing. I was just gonna see what this eye battle is gonna be like. First off, right away, the first thing that comes to mind, oh, we don't okay, we there we go. Quad X. You have Quad X at level 3. You may as well see if Quad X is gonna land first off, see if that's gonna be a thing or not. Um, I don't know, man. If you're trying to get to I and you're doing this like super early, I wouldn't have even taken any of those battles. Like especially that frosty battle. Like that that's a scary battle to take just in
That
general.
is. Um,
Okay. So we're getting out of here.
I can see that. I mean, there's a lot of scary things in ice. Um,
Mhm.
but at I would have absolutely mages give a ton of experience. So if you're already on the way out, like yeah, definitely they're worth a lit 3 or something like that.
But I do like not getting tunnel vision and being like, I'm gonna stay here and like fight eyes, regardless of what my how many resources I have or what low level I have. So the fact that we got out of there, I mean, that's pretty good.
I will
But
say,
then,
commenting in chat with Bryce taking it because of the preemptive. That's a reasonable argument. But my counter argument to that is the perfect time to run away because you know your first character will run. And
mhm.
those fights just don't give that much experience to matter that much.
So again, another thing I want to talk about, Nuke ended up working out okay, and so did Warp, obviously. But we're still not high enough level to even cast these spells. So going into Melman before the slab, I just I get it. You're near here. You got the ruby. You got to do a couple turn ins. This is like 2 key items, but it's just like another second. to save where you're not potentially having to double dip a city.
Yeah. Or I would suggest at the very least doing this first and then going there because you're probably going to go back in there and save before you leave. So it saves a couple of seconds, but a couple seconds here, a couple seconds there.
Yep. This part was in Titan's Trove, but I saw the crown, so that's good. Access is always one of those battles I love. I love getting the crown kind of early because it's good experience. No.
Oh,
Oh,
so
message right
yeah,
here.
toxic werewolves. Those are a thing. Um, so absolutely like, um, oh this happened to me during SGL, or no, it wasn't SGL. It was Fall League, the second race I want to say. I misread the encounter table and I ran into a group of unrunnable tigers that just destroyed my party, and I haven't saved like in 2 minutes, so I had to do this exact walk back,
Yeah. Well,
all because I was greedy.
and what Lord Fizzlebeef is pointing out here is if we didn't know about it, it's straight bad luck. But running into two more of them and not saving during all of this time is like, why? Why aren't we saving like literally every step?
Yeah, like I
So
saved
clearly,
a, a ridiculous amount of times during a game.
yeah, there's no reason not to save. There's no reason to be throwing fades and lit threes out there when Quad X would have done that quicker.
Yep.
Um, again, not trying to dog on your play or anything. I'm just saying you got Quad X for a reason. It's 50 to 150. Astus is going to die to Quad X. That's just like an extra lit three that you threw out there and then a fade that had to kill the thing. All right, so yeah, I guess we got the adamant out of the Titan Shrove, which led to the floater. Let's get in the air, people.
Nope. I think we're going to ordeals.
Um,
I
what?
don't mind this. This is one of those 50-50 things because ordeals is incentivized. You're going to want whatever item is in here. Um, and you don't have to walk so far if you do the floater. I
Yeah.
mean, I of course love this play, but you can argue that no, getting in the air, you've still got a couple of checks to do, a couple things you want to do is more important.
Okay, so I have to ask, and I'm sorry, I like missed the Titan Shrove check earlier. I don't remember him even checking it afterwards. What was in Titan Shrove again?
Uh,
Nothing. Okay. Oh, gold and silver. Sorry, I thought it was turned on.
I don't think it was
My
incentivized.
apologies. Oh yeah, it's not turned on. Good lord, I should. I even briefly went over the flags and I forgot them.
I
No
also
wonder
do
why you didn't
like
check it.
I also do like ordeals because there are a lot of fights in here that are great experience, especially when you're sitting on, oh, I've got fire 2 and lit 3.
Yeah,
Especially just trying to get up to that level 5 magic, which would be the black mage at level 12 and the red mage at level 14.
yeah. These Argos are annoying though. They have a lot of health. Taking a fade to the face with no issues.
That's
But
Argos are
luckily,
terrifying.
they were terrifying in the original game, and they're just as terrifying in FFR.
Yeah.
Let's do this. I like, and I know that we have this. Ooh, nice pickup on the ribbon.
Yeah.
You love seeing free ribbons. Ooh, and what was that? Like a French vanilla Z Scotland there?
Yeah, that was. Now we just need to find, I think, a heal helmet. Is that
Ah,
what else we're here?
no, heel helmets aren't here. Heel staff is the one that's
Heal
here.
staff, that's what it was.
Staff is in the box that he found the ribbon, and
Oh,
then the box. I was gonna say the box that I think he found that Zeus Scotland in was where the ice sword or the gold bracelet is in the original game.
you know what? I would have rather taken a heal staff than a ribbon.
I mean, heel stuff sells for for quite a bit of money.
Yeah,
All right,
this
so we
great
got
stick.
Oxtail. So that's actually required. And I know there are some people out there that probably wouldn't have wanted, tried to save ordeals for last, especially getting in the air. So this ended up working out okay because obviously you need that to finish the game. We'll see how the rest of it goes. What do you think? Who's using this in Scotland? Was that the black belt?
I think that was the thief,
Okay.
which is fine. They weren't doing enough damage. Um, but we're up to level 14, and this is what kind of makes me nervous because I love to go back to Jat's old talks about how um, early decisions that you make affect later gameplay. So
Mm-hmm.
right now we're at the 33-minute mark. We have a black belt. We're only level 14. That makes me
What are we
extremely nervous.
What are we doing back in Elfland? We're looking for heal pots. Like if you're looking for anything, Provoca and Elfland are not the two places you want to go to ever to go to an item shop.
Oh, the
Oh,
he's
you're
he's
looking
looking
for the
for the
chime.
incentive item. I see.
Yeah, the chime was in Crescent Lake,
Yeah.
which is like the shortest item shop. It's like right there.
I love checking the Crescent Lake item shop because as long as it has heals and fears, I will go there pretty much exclusively.
All right, so what are we thinking about? What we're doing? You got a lot of incentive. Oh, parking in
Correct.
the right spot.
Absolutely
Yes,
correct.
yes, 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 yes. All right, so we're good.
Oh, I'm
Not
not
sure
I'm
I would.
not checking
No,
any of
no,
these chests.
absolutely not with this party. Again, you can get money. You're about to grind, like right in that power gauntlet. Yeah, you got to be pretty excited that you picked it up. But at the same time, it's like, are you really using the power gauntlet where we're going? If we're gonna plan on grinding anyway, you're
On this
again,
scaling,
you're
probably not.
yeah. But I do like warping here. I
But I don't know where I would have absolutely gone down and done this grind at that
yeah,
point. Always grind early and grind often.
yeah. And you already have enough key items. I mean, you've basically hit up a ton of places so far. You're near that 100% or not. Sorry, what, like 10 key items or like 50% or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No time is better than the present to go on ahead and just get a grind going because everything's just gonna go by so much quicker. Like this waterfall dive, way quicker with a 42 black belt.
Yeah. Or even a 32. Um,
Yeah, I mean maybe not because right now we're obviously getting away from things. Oh, never mind. Would have been
oof.
quicker. Yep, everybody would have survived. And we didn't even see that in Ordeals. We saw this exact battle in
Yeah.
Ordeals.
Oh my god, that was terrible.
Pretty sure we
Brack.
have a ribbon too. Who had a ribbon? Somebody had a ribbon on, and everyone's dead. Like, what was even that?
Typically speaking, I don't take mud goal fights, or at least I try not to, unless I'm extremely low level. You're at that point right now where I would go, it's like a 50-50. If I was level 11 or 12, I would take those fights if I knew I could kill them with a nuke. Like if I had nuke level 1, 2, or 3.
Mm,
And there's the key. Unfortunately, we've already got our lock picking going on, but we
yeah,
haven't gone back to Cadaria Castle yet to get that incentive.
which again is one of those things that's easy for a new runner to forget. That that's even a thing that you can use. I mean, we're already level 15, so
Oh
yeah,
no!
could
Oh
have gone there.
no! We're out of warp charges.
Oof.
What I enjoy is that so I believe was I running week 1 uh, for the boot camp. I made it a point a couple of times that to run out of warp charges and then to at specific junctures where I wanted to warp, I was not able to, and I would furiously click on the button. Um,
Hmm.
and that's one of those things that you'll see a lot of veteran runners do. Just know what their exit is, how many warps they have. But it is very easy to lose count. There's a lot of things to keep track of, but warp and exit charges is really high on that list.
Yeah. So okay, there's one thing I wanted to point out earlier. Okay, yeah, we have the Axios, so we can check the incentive here. One thing I want to point out because of something that happened earlier. We got like huge money way earlier in the game. Like that to me, when I have like 15 grand in the bank, like the first thing I think of is like, how many houses can I pick up with that money? I don't
Yeah.
want to ever have to step into a city, and especially when you're talking about um charges of magic and like running out of houses, and then you're like nowhere, you don't know where houses are and stuff like that. Like it's just so nice to be able to have the money early on, pick up a ton of houses, like even if it's like five, six, 7 houses or something like that. Just know that before you go into a dungeon like Waterfall, go on ahead and throw a house down and make sure that you don't run out of warp charges.
Yeah. Um, Another thing
So
I will say,
again,
so
check.
with the black belt, we're checking a lot of chests here.
Just about to say the same thing. I'm like, why? And like, I get it; those chests are like right there, but like, we should not be checking those boxes. We should be warping around. We don't have. Do we have a way to kill Kraken? I didn't see a Brack or like a
We have
Bane or.
Brack at level 4,
Okay, cool. So we do
but
have a way
that's
to kill
a Brack and a Dream is what we're looking at.
Kraken. So we have what looks like 8 charges of Brack is what I just saw.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's still scary, but it's reasonable. Another thing I do want to bring up, and and it sounds like we're completely ragging, but this is one of my pet peeves when people are running, especially when I was doing it at the beginning of my tenure here, was being cute with magic. I say that because you were taking on the sea snakes, and you had lit 3 very viable right there, but you cast lit 2 probably to save charges, or oh, I only need 2 casts of lit 2. Don't be cute with magic. You are going to warp out. You're not going to use it. Like use your fade charges liberally. Use your nuke charges liberally. Use the best spell that you've got. Don't be cute and try to save magic when you know that you're going to be exiting. It'll save you a lot of heartbreak.
Yeah. I mean, it made sense. It would make sense if you were going down a mermaid, you were going to do all that check, warp out, and save it anyway. But yeah, yeah.
It's I mean you can see, oh yeah, it's resource management. If your plan was to immediately then go to Kraken side and you wanted to save those lit 3 charges because they're also Brack charges, I would absolutely be fine with that.
All right, so here we go. We got Brack coming out, Zeus Gauntlet, Oop, dead, Black Belt again, and of course Brack first turn.
Mm-hmm.
Black Belt gets no experience, but whatever, it's fine. Coming here
Yeah,
is fine. But
I
that would have
sense a theme.
been like a good where life would have worked out. If you had life, you could have lifed up, used a house, you would have saved like again the three
Yeah.
or 4 seconds to walk into there. But no, yeah, if you were gonna warp back to the first floor and then go after Kraken, then I could see using Lit too. But if your whole plan was to just warp completely out of the dungeon, um, at the end of it anyway, you may as well just go on all out. Throw every single nuke you have ever.
Yeah, so the next point that I have would be, so using Brack is great against Kraken. However, you had access, you had nukes, you had lit 3s going in there. Um,
Ooh, nice quad X. Big quad X.
oh
I
yeah,
love it.
that's clutch.
Sorry.
So
Anytime I see you.
yeah, yeah. That's a great example of good use of magic. Like, don't hold anything back. Like you've got Quad X. These things are going to die to that. Get the guaranteed kill. Um, but I would say, what are your thoughts? Would you go in that fight, going for the Brack strats, or would you just try to nuke down Kraken?
I have to think about where our nuke charges were. I mean, we're pretty high level already. I would have probably just gone straight. That's a tough
We
choice.
had
I
5
would have
nuke
had to have been.
charges, but we also had
Oh yeah,
lit
five.
3, a lot of lit 3 charges.
Uh, well, yeah, with the lit threes and the nukes, I would have probably gone with the straight up damage. Uh, Against TMS, it's a bit different situation. But remember, the Boskin is a little on the squishy side. I mean, they're gonna consistently roll lower than they would. It's kind of how we did these. So see how this Tia battle goes. I do like, again, may as well go for the insta kill. Brock
Just
does take it
yep.
down. Now, one thing I will say, we've got 2 orbs, but no grind, and we're like nearly an hour in, right?
Yeah.
That's a little like that would be on my mind. Like, what are we doing here? We have a
Yeah.
tail. We haven't class changed, so we're not going for thief strats. We should have, like we're in the air. You already went to volcano that one time just to check the things. We should have gone down and see what the Agamas were at least about. And
And
there's
we
our
get
second
the
ribbon.
incentive ribbon. That's nice. But yeah, I agree. I didn't want to believe it when I started off. I would listen to people that are like, oh, you got to grind early, even if it doesn't make sense. I'm like, no, I want to go fast. I want to progress. And once I started doing it and watching people grind right away and how they were still beating me by 20 minutes, by 30 minutes, I'm like, oh, I get it now.
At this point, when you find the mass immune and you're running this party, what do you think? Are you even considering the idea of grinding with a short topher and kind of squishy bosses?
I don't have
Or would you just try to
fast.
YOLO anything?
Fast make not having fast makes me nervous.
Hmm.
I don't even think we have temper. We have a power gauntlet that we picked up.
Yep.
Um, with short Topher and these, uh, I would consider it. Just to go in, test the waters, see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, those boxes were not worth picking up. There could have been like 4 ribbons in that room, and I would have not gone up there and grabbed them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say there could have been like a Massa +5 in that room. And ah, apparently we are missing an incentive.
Ah, yes, we're missing the Canaria Castle.
Ooh, yes, because we picked up the key in Canaria. We're just kind of like looking for things. Okay, this makes sense.
We did
But
we did pick up the defense sword. With that pickup, I absolutely test Topher. I
ooh, look at
absolutely
that.
go in there.
We'll have to say though, Rod and Earthlocked. That's pretty.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's pretty rude. Good thing you did forget about that key because who knows when you would have checked Earth Cave for the rod.
Yeah.
But the key is going to. Key's got to lead to the loot, huh? Or at least something
Um,
that leads to the loot. We haven't seen it yet, have we?
I don't remember if we haven't seen the loot or the. Yeah, I think it is the loot.
Yeah, yeah, something to the loot. So it would be. I love the cake on Lich here. I mean, it's just kind of cheeky. It doesn't really mean anything because you're more than likely going to kill Lich with just melee, but it still gets me excited.
Well, I mean, you got two first turn kills on Kraken and on Tiamat, so you might as well try Cake.
Yeah. All
But
right.
I will
So
say in that
it,
instance, I probably wouldn't have. I just would have gone damage. I have, roll out two nukes. You've got a Massa. You've got a black belt at level 19. It's dead and around. So
yeah. So we're back here again looking for things. Again, I cannot stress enough how there's no reason to ever go to Elfland um item shop. Like just there's so many other item shops that are easier to access than Elfland item shop. Like even if you are consider like what you're trying to get, always go to Crescent first, see what's there, and then make your decision um accordingly. But man, getting to that Elfland item shop just it's awful. The end.
so I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean to suck up at all, but watching this, I keep forgetting that we're reviewing a Duckling because like a lot of these plays going on, you take away some of the double dipping of certain areas, just the routing, just the kind of decision making using certain spells. It really does lend credibility to the fact that this is a player who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah. I know that we've kind of again, it's a VOD review. We're talking about like plays that would make sense to make this person a little bit better. I wouldn't have taken this battle with the black belt at 9
Nine
HP,
hit points.
but
Oh Jesus.
especially a second one. But 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 like what Deadpool said, there's some really good plays, like really, really, really strong plays here. Um, Especially the use of magic. And I know we've criticized some of the use of magic, but you know, getting those quad X's out there, knowing what spells do what, it does save time.
So one thing that I like with this flag set is actually if I'm going to take a black belt and I get the massive immune early or before the grind, absolutely put it on the black belt. The black belt still gets 3% growth per level, so the same as a fighter. I think it starts with a little bit lower. I think the black belt only starts with 5% hit, and the fighter starts with 10%.
Mhm. So,
But we're doing a lot of damage there.
yeah, Bryce is talking about the Agabus were tough since they kept using spells. Yeah, throw a ribbon on that black belt, throw that mask on the black belt. You don't have to worry about spells.
We keep casting slow. We're not actually killing anything, which is disgusting. But they'll die eventually. There we go. Take that, thief. And then, of course, perfect. Putting both the mages in the top. Get that extra percent chance. And oh, was that stun touch that I saw? I mean, I don't have a Zenobian on hand in my pocket to tell me everything about stun touch, but what I can tell you is that you want to get that black belt up to about level 25, and they should be more or less immune to stun touch. Somewhere Zenobian is screaming my name. So then the question is, how high do we take this up, Gregory Buff? Because I want to say the answer is just 32. That's what I'm thinking. Um, but let's see. Oh yeah, we still realize we're missing the loot. We gotta keep on going. Um, slow is really not affecting us too much, so that's pretty good. Not healing up during these, like this is a very reasonable grind. And you take a look at the time. We've only spent what about 6 minutes up to this point. So that's not too bad for these. I like to keep my grinds. Let me take a step back. When you're taking a black belt party, and you're focused on it, it is roughly 7 minutes slower over the course of the entire seed than just a fighter party, and that is pretty much because your grind on something like this is going to take about 10 minutes, and you're going to check about 3 minutes less or you're going to have 3 minutes of speeding up because the boss kills are going to take less time. Uh, Things are going to run from you when you go into when you go into fight Lich. Everything should be running from you if you're level 32 or 42. Not only that, but let's say something casts thunder, it's not going to kill you outright. You're going to be able to survive it. So I always just go by the general unscientific comment of 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it looks like we're down to our solar black belt would be like level 32 now. 35. Nice, we're
Oh,
getting there.
yeah. Sorry, hate. I was paying attention to something else. Yeah, this is Duckling Boot Camp Week 1.
Mm-hmm. So everything's looking pretty swimmingly here. We got a black belt pretty much on where it needs to be, is
Yeah.
is what we would say.
Um,
So, and this is what our last word too.
yeah, this is our last
We'll just,
orb, and so I can definitely
we'll just
understand going up to 42.
yeah, may as well. I mean, you're gonna make so short work of a short gopher here. with a level 42. Just go in. What are we, an hour or 11? We should be done by an hour 15, maybe,
Well, we still have
depending
to
on how
find that
things go.
loot.
Ah, yes, I forgot the loot is a thing that exists. Make sure you stand on those damaged tiles.
Yep.
Mm.
I
Oh,
assume this
because we
check
don't
is
know where
because
the
we
loot is.
don't know if
Yeah.
this has an incentive or not.
Wouldn't even, again, kind of with the menu in here is like, why are we picking up the flame armor? No one can
Yeah,
equip it.
I don't see a point for it. Let's do some punch.
All right, that is a dead carry right there. We're gonna go in. We're in the air. We're not saving. Please save. Like this is the most important thing about a grind is you gotta save. No,
Oh
what just happened?
no.
What just happened? Why
We
are we back?
we we
Why was it?
reset after we
Oh
got
no!
a after we rest our party. That's terrible.
Oh, the old accidental reset after resing. I've done that before.
Oh my
You go
goodness.
res, you think you're in an N, you think you've saved, and then all of a sudden, oh
I
my
think I
lord.
did. Yeah, I did it in a race. I don't remember which race I was actually doing, but I had to sail up to uh, Sky. I don't think there were floaters involved, um, but I didn't save it the entire journey from I think it was Elfland all the way around the continent all the way up. It took me like 2 minutes to get there, and I hit the save button, but I didn't confirm the save, and I hit reset, so I had to go all the way back.
Yeah,
I
I've
mean,
done
that
that before.
obviously that was a 2 minute loss, and this was a 10 minute loss, and it stinks. But you're just now you're really one of us. This is how it happens.
Yeah.
But what I'm
It
going to go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say this just goes to show how important it is to go on ahead and you know save up anytime. Just save often. As Asher, our old arbiter, would say, safety saves save time. So always save. There's no reason not to save after a dungeon, even if you're right on top of an airship. A save right there would have, if you would accidentally reset and moving your party around and stuff like that, would have put you back out in front of volcano after the grind as opposed to being inside the city. So, what's happening?
Yeah, you can never save too much. I'm just fast forwarding a little bit through this. So it looks like we only took this up to 33, which is absolutely fine. But yeah,
So again,
in your practice races, definitely get that out of your system. Now, a quick time saving tip is whenever I finish a grind, specifically at Ice Cave or Volcano, I like to go to Crescent Lake to res my party because it's just closer.
mhm. So just now realizing what happened. Oh, Dr. Yoon doesn't have what we're looking for. At this point, yes, I would be totally stumped. Like, what am I missing? We've already been to Ice Cave. It was
The canal was here.
now, yeah. I was like, we've definitely been here. So again, this is just kind of one of those things. Like sometimes when you're brand new, like just if you have a second monitor or if you, what I used to do because I play on a laptop is I would write all my incentive locations down on a sheet of paper, kind of next to me, so that I would not forget those things. And it's just kind of one of those things that would be helpful, knowing that Canary Lock is one of those places. So going
Yeah, I
north.
actually I do even now. I keep up a copy of the incentives page of the flags that I'm running, just in case I brainhole something.
Yeah.
But we're checking all the right areas. I
You're
would
at
have
least
liked to
checking the info.
seen, yeah, I would have liked to seen like the Biggie check first, Crescent Lake, things without
Here we go.
encounters.
And Bujimano pointing out, yeah, the auto tracker would have been huge here. And here we go. There's our slab, which we know is going to lead to the loot. Um, or the bottle to the loot, right? Because I don't see a bottle listed on the tracker here. So you got to go a long way to get the guitar. Guitar's going to be out of the bottom of this lake. This ferry's going to get. I don't understand how a loot is going to work well after sitting at the bottom of a lake.
Well, that's why it's important to have a nicely blow dried beard. You can just dab it a little bit.
Pretty much. I'll throw the blow dryer on it. It'll be fine. Maybe just restring it and call it a day. Here we go. Our
Oh,
bottle.
you're correct.
It's like I'm sort of paying attention.
And then of course, the nitpicky person in me, is saved 2 steps by traveling in the little river tile there. But we do have the shortcut on for all of these, which if you've never played with it, like I still do this on some of the seeds that I'm betting, is like forget that the shortcut is on.
Yep. So a shortcut would have saved you, maybe like 10 seconds, like 5 seconds somewhere in that general area. But at least we got the loot now. But I agree with this. Like on Bryce point here, I would have been so tilted after resetting out of that grind. I would have been like, I can't even exist. Just
Yeah.
go. Like I'm gonna check these boxes. It doesn't make sense, but just go. All right, so short Topher basically puts all 7 chests in Topher, well, in that room that you just saw. And then we have refight all, or sorry, all fiend refight tiles are on. So you will fight all the fiend refights. No matter which way you go, it's just done. You got to go through each of them. Not sure if I would have even bothered with Brack here. Seems
Yeah, I
like
probably
a
wouldn't have. We're
Hail
going with
Mary
speed
for
and
the.
power. Just nuke and fade, cracking down because you don't have life.
Oh, yeah, Brack's just like a good way to waste a fade charge because I think they should. No, fade's level 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's just like you're doing something that doesn't lower Kraken's health. If you had thrown like a fade and a nuke instead of those 2 bracks, maybe you could have killed Kraken 2 in 2 rounds as opposed to 3. Quad X would have been good to throw out here.
Oh yeah, Quad X would have been would have been a good play.
Mm-hmm. But we're down to the black belt and the red mage, which is pretty good. What I'd like to see, maybe defense sword. I don't know. We'll see. I say these things. I'm like, what I'd like to see, and maybe you do it beforehand. But go ahead and get that white shirt, defense sword. I love it. Power bonk. Let's go.
Now, what I saw really quick there is that after one white shirt, the red mage only took 133 damage from a hit. So at that point, I wouldn't have even bothered doing any more defenses. Just Chaos has some pretty wimpy arms.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, go on ahead and throw those nukes out there. Just get any sort of chip damage going with that red mage.
100.
That was it was that nuke roll 100. Now I'm not sure how much more buffing I would have done here. I mean, you've already thrown a ton of power box out there. I mean, you're gonna like punch him for. You're gonna probably one shot him here in a second. Yeah. Okay.
So GG's. There were
GG.
there were there were things at this that you obviously knew. I do like. I really sincerely appreciate you posting this because it's to have like that big of an error in there, and still posting it. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted to see. And then just persevering through, and then seeing kind of how you reacted afterwards. Um, But yeah, I guess it's to wrap up the chaos fight. I'm in the same camp as Greg in here. I would have used the power gauntlet once and then gone for a punch and see what happened, because there was a chance I was either going to two or one shot. Basically, the three power gauntlets extended the fight an extra turn, regardless of what Chaos's stats could have been, just because how do I put this? Every time that you're using the power gauntlet, you're not attacking, so that concurrent damage would have been enough to kill Chaos before your fourth round, if that makes sense. But otherwise, what do you think overall, Greg?
Um, I think it was a really well run seed. To be perfectly honest, there's like obviously the things that we talk about that are just going to speed you up over the time of the seed, like double dipping certain cities, checking the item shop at Elfland. Like again, it's just one of those things. Like in my mind, like that item shop does not exist in my world. Like I am never going there unless I know for sure that the vendor item is there. You know, the item shops you need to be checking. The caravan, because it's just such a quick item check if you're in the area, and then of course Crescent Lake is like literally right inside of there, and then maybe Canaria because it's close to Topher, but outside of that, like it's just those kind of things, and then double dipping cities when you have money, staying in, getting everything you need in the one city, even if it's like houses and stuff that you don't like that might take all your money away. Like it's good to have houses because you can replenish those spell charges later on before going into dungeons. Um, just those kind of things going, hugging those walls, getting in front of those doors, going in and out of river systems and stuff like that. It's just kind of those things that you'll learn as playing the game more and more. But again, as a new player, as somebody who's literally just joined the community, who's played the game since you were a kid, like I played the game, the original game. I mean, it was a really well done run. I think that run would have been so much better if A, you had remembered where the incentive item out of the slab was, and B, you hadn't reset out of the grind. I mean, that's you could have easily shaved a good 20 minutes off of that run.
Yeah.
But I think that it like for a new runner, yeah, that was really well done as far as like the way you use your magic and the battles you decided to take. Running away from battles is a big thing too, especially for newer runners. I think overall, I have nothing more to say than what I've already said.
Oh yeah, that was that hit up on all the major points. The notes that I had were that, barring the two big mistakes, which you already knew about, you were looking at about a 110 finish, and I am proud of a 110 finish on these flake sets. So with just a couple extra tweaks, I mean, you hit on some of the things that Greg talked about, and this run instantly goes down to about a 1 hour, a 55 minute, and at that point, you're competitive with people who have been playing this game for several years. So I mean, kudos to you. This is you're going to be someone that I'm excited to watch specifically in the Duck Derby to see how you progress. Just keep practicing because I mean, I'm a big proponent of practicing. I know that that's a dangerous opinion out there, but even now, like I still will practice before any of my any tournaments, any things like that.
Yeah, it,
But it requires a decent amount of practice to catch up to people who have been here for a couple of months.
one thing I will say too is like if you have any questions or if you want anything, like feel free to ping anybody, ask in the Discord if you're out there and you aren't part of the Discord, which it'd be weird if you were on our specific Twitch channel and weren't part of the Discord. But if you are out there, go ahead and join the Discord. But feel free to message me or Dead Pulse or anybody you feel comfortable messaging, and if you want just some tips, there are people out there that will gladly give you all the tips that you ever need. So it's a great community as far as learning how to play the game. I wouldn't have been here as long as I've been here, which is like over 3 years now, if there weren't people out there that were, helpful in trying to teach all the new players how to play the game, and just wanting to grow the community, wanting people to want to play the game.
3 years is essentially an eternity in Final Fantasy Randomizer years.
I mean, you could talk to left front bumper about all that because he predates me by about 6 or so months. So
Did you just pull the Lord Fizzlebeef is older than me card?
I mean, he might be older than me in real life, but he's definitely older than me in FFR times. But seriously, feel free to go ahead and put in your VOD reviews. We have a few more weeks to do this. We're doing this for 3 more weeks, or are we going to keep it going through the derby? What are we?
Oh,
What's our
I don't know. We're gonna see how it goes. If
Yeah,
people
I
keep
mean,
submitting VODs, we'll keep this going.
we may just do this forever, and then my wife might present me papers, and we'll see what happens. But for the most part, we're just going to keep doing this for as long as we need to do it. And I am excited to do it. It's good to try to help people out, and Bryce gets it. Good to help people out and try to get them to into the game and want to play the game, want to have a good time with the game.
But yeah, thanks again to Bryce for submitting this and all the people who have submitted so far. We still have a couple reviews to do out there, and like we've always said, this is your time to submit these reviews, because any review that is submitted before week 6 of the boot camp, or essentially our last broadcast, we will get to before that. Even if we get a slew of them coming in, like 5 or 6, we'll make a special broadcast that won't be, quote unquote, the Puff and Pulse Variety Hour. We will definitely get those VOD reviews out there. So this is a unique and amazing opportunity for everybody to submit their reviews and then have us be unnecessarily harsh towards you.
So on behalf of myself, of course, and Deadpulse, I appreciate everybody for hanging out, watching us do this VOD review. Keep the VOD reviews coming if you're interested in hearing us, you know, do whatever we just did just now for the last 3 weeks or whatever. And we'll just keep them coming as long as you keep them coming. What do we got? Extra credit tomorrow night, right? So extra
Correct.
credit, that's Dark Moon's thing. He's going to be doing that tomorrow night. And then those flags will be posted to the async channel. So the async weekly. Uh, that'll be tomorrow. And that's Dark Moon's thing. What's his time for that? Is it 8:30?
Yep,
Like what we do?
8:30 FFR time.
All right. Awesome. Admin vote thing ends Monday morning sometime. So make sure you go out there and vote for whatever admin you want running the community if you have an opinion about that. Otherwise, Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is our first race of our platypus thing, right? Pulse
It's so hard to say. Like, I just call it the Platy Party.
Platy Party. So if you are not a duckling and you're not somebody like Deadpulse and I, or anybody that's won a singles tournament thing, feel free to join in. And basically, it'll be just like what we've done before with the duckling reveals. We'll go over the flags, but then afterwards, you'll get to see a bunch of people racing, and Deadpulse and I and whoever else will commentate said race, right? Is that what we're
Yeah,
doing?
so it's still going to be considered the Duckling Boot Camp, because we're still going to be doing it, using it as a teaching adventure. Um, but we both thought that it was important for the new players to see like races in action, instead of just people going for fun, just to see like what the different decisions that people might make could be. So I think this is gonna be great. The next 3 weeks are gonna be just fantastic.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm really excited to see it. It's just kind of a fun thing. Doesn't really mean anything, as some people would say, but it should be fun for those that participate. And it will be good to see veteran-ish runners go out there. I mean, I say veteran-ish runners, they may be the most veteran of runners because we don't have that many singles tournaments that people could have won. So who knows um, who will show up for this thing? But it'll be good to see runners that really know the game, really know what they're doing, go through it, and for the newer runners to be able to watch that and be like, oh wow, that's just something I would have never even thought of, like the way they go in and out of things. And hopefully, Dead Pulse and I, or whoever else wants to commentate. I know Dark Moon's going to be restreaming. Luffy might be helping us out there. So
Oh, and I
um
will say I forgot to mention this. We will be looking for hopefully ducklings to help with the tracking, just to kind of get into the race crew role. So if you're interested in that, there will be a post on Sunday, probably early in the morning, asking if people want to volunteer. So if you're available and you're a duckling, absolutely volunteer. We'll get you into the race crew, and then you can get a little training. And then once we get into the next tournament, you'll be ready to go. And
yeah,
that's all I
I
got.
bet there.
Greg, you want to take us out?
Oh, yeah, I'll go ahead and take us out. I got nothing else. And if you're scared about tracking, I bet there is a certain someone who will help you with the tracking. And yeah, I wouldn't be scared of it. Tracking's a lot of fun. You get to watch the thing and just press buttons. It's pretty awesome. So, without further ado, I don't really have anything else to say. I said what we're doing as far as the Duckling Boot Camp is concerned. We already know when the Duckling Derby races are happening. Again, and if you don't know, I'm going to go on ahead and say them right now. Group 1 is going to be racing January 4th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday night from January 4th through January 25th. And Group 2 will be racing Sundays starting on January 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all the way until January 30th. Once we find out who our top four are, you guys have a week to figure out when you guys are racing your race. But that doesn't really matter, right? You guys will figure that out once you get there. Those are just the races for the groups 1 and group 2. Again, like I said before, according to your availability. If you're only available to do Tuesday, that's when you're racing. If you're only available to do Sunday, that's when you're racing. If you're available for both, we'll figure it out. You're gonna know when you're racing. I promise you, by not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, because we are going to close submissions to the Duck Derby race only because it just makes things a little bit easier as far as scheduling is concerned. So, without further ado, I guess we're done here. I appreciate everybody for hanging out on Final Fantasy Randomizer uh, Twitch channel, and I would say join the Discord, but obviously you're already here if you're on our Twitch channel. So yeah, good night. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for hanging out, and we'll see you guys on Thursday for the extra credit and Sunday for the platypus
You almost got
playoff
it.
thing.
Platy
I know,
party.
platy party. Deadpool's. Have a good night, dude.
We'll see you later.